Welcome to POSTCAST. The Utah Jazz have stunned the New Orleans Pelicans and the NBA again. The Jazz sweep the Pelicans with a remarkable, fun, exhilarating, awesome overtime win, and Ron Boone and I are here to talk about it on POSTCAST. How are you, David Locke, along with Ron Boone? Wow. Should we just go there? What a night. I'm not sure what happened, and not the way I didn't know about the Warriors, but there were so many items tonight. I mean, everything from the goaltending not called at the end, which was because of, there's just little intricacies, little tiny plays, little moments tonight every way around. But from the Jazz standpoint, it's just somewhat symbolic of the season. The grit, the fight, the perseverance, down by 13, I think, at one point. They fight back. They take the lead. They lose it. They fight back. They have it in control. It sneaks away. We go to overtime. They fight through and win it in overtime. Second time this year against Pelicans, Ron. This is another just great night for this team that has continued to amaze.
Just continue to fight, regardless of what's going on out there on the floor. They just don't bail out and give up. They led by 7. Then they end up losing that, and the Pelicans got back in the ball game. But the bottom line, what boils down to, is what the Pelicans do very well is they score in the paint. They have 52 points in the paint. They've been averaging 56. And what do the Jazz do? They shoot the three. I think this is the second ball game in a row they've taken at least 47 three-point shots.
This is just a great win. This team had come in here. They'd won 7 straight. They don't have Brandon Ingram, but they'd won 7 straight without Brandon Ingram. They Phoenix back-to-back games. They might have broke Phoenix. We'll see. I really think they could have broke Phoenix. Phoenix, to me, feels a lot like we were at this point last year when the losses just feel catastrophic, and it starts to wear on you. And the Pelicans came in here, and the Jazz defended Zion really, really well. He's remarkable and unbelievable. CJ got it going a little bit, but the Jazz had their answer, and their answer was Jordan Clarkson. He had 2 huge buckets in overtime. He had a career high in the first quarter tonight with 17. He had a career high with 25 in the first half tonight. And then he, unlike the flame on night, I'm not sure that I'm calling Jordan Clarkson flame on tonight. I think he just simmered all night long. He was just on boil, and he was just rolling.
Yeah, that first quarter was just unbelievable. You could tell when he has it going, he has that step, and he just lets it fly. Even his penetration, the way he dribbles the basketball and free himself, and some of those little fadeaway jump shots or that you thought were defended, and he ends up making them. I think 17 points, in that first quarter. He just got things going there for the Jazz, and when no one else was getting it done.
When the Utah Jazz this year have had Mike Conley, and they go to a late-game clutch situation, and they don't have Mike Conley, it's pretty different. The Jazz this year with Mike Conley in the clutch have been 9-3, maybe 9-4 because the one game he didn't start. 9-4, they're plus 18 differential, and we saw it again tonight. He was not having a good night tonight, and frankly, I thought Will Hardy waited as long as he could to bring Mike Conley back and then called timeout and said, okay. But he absolutely conducted the final 4 minutes of regulation and 5 minutes of overtime on a night where he didn't have it. And they got the matchups they wanted with Clarkson guarding Zion. They got the shots and made the plays they wanted to make. And defensively, the plays he made late in the game, tipping the ball out of bounds on C.J. McCollum multiple times to kind of disrupt their final play, were vital.
Yeah, and the smart thing he did there as well, David, he kept just he saw that Clarkson kind of had it going. He kept putting Clarkson in the pick and roll in the 2-man game, and then Zion Williamson ended up guarding him there, and Clarkson ended up doing some damage. But just those things out there on the floor, eating up time on the clock, and then when you score like that, especially down the stretch with the clock running, that turns out to be huge. But the respect that these guys have for him, he had 6 assists tonight, and as you mentioned, did not have a great shooting night, that's for sure, especially missing those free throws. But it happens.
Big picture, Ron. We could walk each of these players. We're going to talk about Walker Kessler probably. We're going to talk, but big picture, what Will Hardy's built, what Mike Conley and Kelly Olynyk and the veterans of this team has built. What are you seeing out of this as a group?
The big picture, David, the score tells it for every ball game. The Jazz just don't get blown off the floor. They play hard. They're in every basketball game. They do everything that well, I won't say everything, but the game plan obviously is very, very good because they actually get it done. Now, for the year right now, they are 17, and 17 and 14. Boy, I've had a different score. But they, and in those wins, they act like get the job done. The losses, They don't lose by much.
They've played the most clutch games of any team in the NBA, and they really, the thing that jumps out to me, they're 13-6 now when Mike starts. I mean,
that's awesome.
It really seems as though, and hey, you can't expect to be full strength at all times, and frankly, relying on a 35-year-old point guard is not like a script that leads you. But when they are at full strength and when they are at this level, what he does for them, and I like to refer to as the rightful order of the basketball universe. Like everything's in order, everything's playing well, and we saw for the second straight time, these guys have a really good offensive game plan against a defensive team that I believe the Pelicans are the third best defensive team in the NBA. And taking a quick check of the final number, the Jazz offensive rating tonight, which was skyrocketing throughout the night, finishes as a 125 against the third best defense in the league. That's a big-time performance for your defensive group tonight, or your offensive group, and that's Will Hardy in the game plan. Before the game, I asked Will Hardy, why did you get the open looks you got in the first game? He's like, their defense thrives on your inability to make the basic play time in and time out. And these guys, I know it's made the basic play time in and time out.
Basic, that's such a huge statement there, because the game is simple. And I think the players make the game hard. And so the basic plays that you draw up, you have an offense that needs to run smoothly. It doesn't always run smoothly, so that the guys just end up making the right plays at the right time. And you got to give Coach Harding a lot of credit for the way he coached the ball game tonight there as well. You had a couple of players that were in foul trouble with 5 fouls, and they still were able to take him out, put him back in at the right time to keep him from picking up those 6 fouls. That would be Marketing and Kessler, who's and I don't think Olynyk seen much time there in overtime, did he? I don't think he did.
I thought Kelly finished, but I have to check because maybe not. Maybe Walker, because Jared didn't. So I thought Kelly was on the floor.
Right.
I mean, the challenge on Walker Kessler turns out to be a massive play. Maybe Mike Conley's biggest play of the night is on a play where everything broke down. The house was burning down. Things were going wrong. He gets in the middle of the lane and flips it out to Markkanen for a three.
Yes.
Which was just a level of calmness and understanding when the chaos had ensued. Frankly, the Pelicans then make a big play 3 at the end of regulation to force overtime. The Jazz were able to withstand that. Pretty great. Just
all boils down to the hard work and the way they play hard and don't give up. I mean, there's always a chance that we're going to win this basketball game.
And the play at the end of regulation where Will Hardy drives. End of regulation, the Jazz have 2 seconds left. Hardy has the play. Marshall is guarding Markkanen, and they're going to lob it to Markkanen at the basket 7 feet. Valanciunas kicks the ball on the inbound, allowing the Pelicans to switch Larry Nance onto Lauri Markkanen. Still a pretty great play, but Larry Nance makes an unremarkable play to block the shot and force us to overtime. I mean, there are just so many moments in this basketball game tonight. And, whether it was Jordan Clarkson jumper off Marshall late in the game, I mean, they're just I have a hard time remembering everything that just took place.
Yeah, it's just, again, we've talked about this many, many times, and Will has said this, and some of the guys have always said that there could be a different guy every night that make the right plays, that's going to lead the team in scoring or lead the team in rebounding. In the game on Tuesday night, Vanderbilt had one of the greatest games of his life. 14 points, 18 rebounds, or 18 points, 14 rebounds. Maybe I got it reversed, something like that. He wasn't even in the picture tonight, but someone else steps up and gets the job done. So that's the makeup of this basketball team.
Part of the story tonight is the fact that Walker Kessler closes a big-time game this magnitude. What's your thoughts on how he held himself?
You got to be proud of him. I mean, and I think he'll learn, and I'm sure Will wants him to continue to challenge shots. The only time he really picks up fouls blocking shots is when he's jumping into, at the shot blocker. He's tall enough, he jumps very well to where he can block a lot of shots out of the air and not so much out of the player's hand. You understand what I mean?
All right. I want to just, he's not going to be a 2-star. I do want to give a tip of the hat to 2 guys tonight. Udoka Azubuike got thrown in for like 3 minutes, which actually was really good.
Yeah.
Rudy Gay defended Zion Williamson really well tonight. Rudy Gay's, I don't know what his plus minus is tonight. His 17 minutes were important. He was vital tonight. Alexander Walker's 21 minutes tonight were vital because Mike Conley didn't have it. And so they ran Alexander Walker for an extended period of time, and then Mike Conley, of course, came in the game and did have it because he's Mike Conley, which is kind of great. So, with that said, I don't know. Let's go. 2 stars. I'm not
tough
getting
tonight. It's really
I'm
tough.
not getting complicated tonight. I got my 2 stars. I'm not getting complicated tonight.
I'm not either. I'm going marketing because of that. It's strictly, he scored well, 31 points, but he hit the big 3.
31 points on 15 shots. You're going to win a lot of games if your best player is scoring 31 points on 15 shots.
You know, that's in the category of Zion.
Yes.
I mean, what's he been doing here as of lately? Averaging over 30 points and off of 17 shots a ball game.
Right.
So that's in that category. And then you got to go with Clarkson because of the way he started and finished the basketball game.
39 for Jordan tonight. 15 field goals, 7 of 14 from 3.
You
Remarkable
could easily
win.
go with Kessler too, but
Yeah.
you know that's.
I'm not getting complicated
Yeah,
tonight. Remarkable win. Thanks for tuning in. Locked on Jazz tomorrow morning, but hopefully this held you over in the meantime. Fabulous win for the Jazz tonight. Remarkable team. Super fun. We're off to see Giannis because the NBA is crazy. And then there's some other guy we see the night after that. Oh, yeah, Donovan Mitchell.
Mitchell's
Have
been
fun, everybody.
lighting
It's
it
going
up.
to be a great